The future is now. Whoa. ICP United. ICP United.
Hey everyone, welcome back to ICP United.
We're back!
I'm one of your hosts, Kyle Stofflet, and I'm very excited to be back this week.
And I'm Aaron Biebert, the other host. Last week was such a blast. Thanks so much for all the comments, likes, shares. We really appreciate it.
Just want to give a shout out to Liquidium and Bitcoin Starship. We really appreciate you sharing the content and clipping it.
The show is for you guys. This is your show. So speaking of that, this week we got some good stuff. So Kyle, let's get into it.
We're in the new.
DFINITY Foundation makes the CVE enrichment list again.
Yeah, which is really big news. I mean, this is like the gold standard of like vulnerability testing and community leadership, because this is like a community of tech developers who are saying, hey, we're going to be transparent. We want to deal with this vulnerability situation in a great way. So huge honor to be included on that list. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if you saw it, but Motoko has some plushies coming out.
Yes,
So
yeah, those look super cool. I mean, Motoko is like by far one of the most visual things for our ecosystem. So seeing that coming to life, having some physical items, rumor has it that we may even be visited by some Motoko plushies.
they were a big hit at Bitcoin Nashville last year.
That's right.
With the claw machines.
Yeah, they're gonna have 5 of these. And looking at the video, I mean, this looks cool. I'm looking forward to having one myself.
So yeah, it's been really cool to see the Chain Chapter events going on in the US.
Yeah, that New York and Miami events that they just had, really very cool.
Javier's been doing a great job with it. He's really, like nailing these events down, and
I'm looking forward to more of them. Obviously, we're kind of in the early stages of figuring out how we can contribute to that whole Chain Chapter thing. And if you want to volunteer as an ambassador, like, hey, we're going to be building these things in this movement all over the US. Nothing beats meeting with people in real life. I mean, nothing. Like, these lasting relationships are formed. We've seen it in numerous ways, even ourselves. Just getting together at an event. It's game changing.
So if you'd like to attend or organize meetups in your area, we'd love to have you fill out a form. We can share that later on for you, and hopefully we'll have that below. But yeah, we'd love to have more community members involved with organizing these meetups around the US, and that way we can keep you all close together when we throw the big ones.
That's right. It's going to be an exciting year. I'm looking forward to it. And for you guys in Texas, you don't have to wait very long. April 21st, Texas Blockchain Workshop's happening in Austin. That's going to be exciting. Check out the Luma link. And yeah, get together with your fellow Texans and let's talk ICP.
Yeah, and Purdue, if you follow the Big Ten, there's a big TypeScript course going on over there. So
yeah, Javier's got that going from like April 8th to the 24th, and that's online, but it is with Purdue, which is a really cool engineering school. So yeah, that's nice. Good job, Javier.
Building a new web.
There's so many great minds, have real drive and real vision, and who have been working through to create these goals for years without any resources or really any attention. And I just want to give a shout out to the real dreamers, the visionaries, and the people with drive and who are working to build the future we want to live in. So toast to that.
So Kyle, last week we had a nice chat with a new pro team, one that I didn't even know was building on the internet computer.
they reached out actually after the show came out, so I thought that was really cool. Highlighting the builders is what this is all about.
This is a beacon letting you builders know there's someone here that cares and our ecosystem is building.
If you're a builder, an entrepreneur, don't be shy to reach out. We, as a hub, are here to help you get connected and get plugged into the ecosystem.
Yeah, and not just connections. We also want to make sure that we're helping get these stories out because people will be inspired by each other. This week, we got Lucid. We got to sit down with him not that long ago and hear a little bit about how did he get started and why he's doing what he's doing. Check it out. What were some of the early projects that you guys started working on?
The big motto we had at the time was decentralize the world's data, right? And so we were looking for blockchains that could help us achieve that goal. Started, I think, with like hosting chain link nodes, I believe. And then we moved to Polkadot, which is actually where
that's where you and I first ran into each other in the forums at the Polkadot Reddit.
Yep. And we were trying to like build our own decentralized AI, cloud chain. And while we were doing that, Internet Computer came out with their Genesis video and like hit CoinMarketCap, just appeared at number 3, and so took notice, obviously, of that.
A lot of
and
people take notice, yeah.
tuned into their Genesis video, and they were like speaking our vision paper. It was really interesting. And so, we jumped into the Internet Computer right away, and I think once we found our slot there through like a lot of experimentation, we ended up saying, this is tech that can bring us somewhere. And that's really what we loved about the Internet Computer was, the technology, right? The tech is amazing.
Alien tech, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It's just so cool.
Yep, that's really where we hit the ground running and experimenting with what we were trying to do, which was bring AI into the chain. Back then, we started, that was our first goal coming into Internet Computer, and we very quickly realized this was going to take some time and maturity. And although the tools and the foundation was there, it was very alpha. There's very limited things you could do. We had to really think about the problem from the ground level at that point. Where can we start? Yeah, Internet Computer became that experimentation ground for us.
What kind of stuff did y'all get into along the way?
What we were trying to do with AI was big, so we started kind of small, and we ended up reaching out to the DFINITY Foundation and seeing what was possible, and we ended up drafting up a grant. It was one of the first $100,000 grants in the ecosystem, and we actually completed it before any other team in the ecosystem, but it was for bringing 3D AI agents as NFTs into a metaverse stored on chain. You needed to connect it to a GPT-3 API at the time, and so the AI is still off chain. And that was always the big problem. How do we bring the models on chain? So we started with, all right, well, let's create an agent with a personality data as a 3D avatar, let's put them in a metaverse, put all that on chain, and then, we'll start there.
Yeah, I remember those. Those were cool. That was cool.
Yeah, it was cool. But it at the time, people kind of expected a product out of it. But I was like, this isn't a good product. The mission isn't done. There's still the centralized API problem. What was cool about it is I think only 50,000 people had access to GPT-3 at that time.
Wow.
So it was like, at the time, it was like, oh, this is really cool.
Yeah.
So that's what we started with. And it was an actionable step. I got connected with a lot of great people that I still work with today. Got to give a shout out to Shaw, obviously, because I got connected with him on the basis of AI agents off the 100K grant. And as much of a wizard he is, he understood, look, this is going to take a lot of work and time. And soon after that point, we started the Outpost.
Yeah,
right?
Trying to build a community-driven metaverse using getting AI. Yeah, it's like a world. And 2022, that was a tougher time to build things, though.
The timing just wasn't ready. And we kept hitting these walls.
Yeah.
The group we had at the time ended up sort of going off into different avenues and just doing the groundwork and meeting the people to try to fill the gaps that we felt like we were missing. Continued to work with Shaw at that time. Learned a lot about what we needed to fill and what the work that needed to be done.
Yeah, what's been going on?
Yeah. Well, so for me, the last year has really been a focus on a deep dive into AI. The blockchain stuff, in a lot of ways, has matured, but the AI was accelerating very, very quickly, and especially this agentic sort of AI. Started making my app called Lucid Journal. Probably the first project to use an early version of ELIZA. Before it was ELIZA, it was Bgent and then agent memory and a bunch of Python packages. And so I was using that and really trying to understand more about where AI was going. I worked deeply with Shaw. I just kept experimenting with his technology as he was building it and being his guinea pig. Through that process, I ended up being, early on in this AI16Z development. The mission has always just been keep surrounding yourself with these people, stick together with the people that are really driven and really have the vision for achieving this goal, because one day we're going to do it.
Lucid's a great guy. I have the pleasure of chatting with him weekly. Just a really great visionary in the space. Really like what he's doing.
He is a great dude. And you guys should be following him on X. He's got some really cool announcements coming up. And he's a great dude all around and very inspiring to me. So make sure you check him out.
Chain fusion.
So last week, DFINITY Foundation released a new tech talk all about chain fusion. And Manu nailed it in about 90 seconds. So check this out.
Welcome to the World Computer Tech Talks. My name is Manu, and I'm a Senior Director of Engineering at the DFINITY Foundation. The Web3 space has become very diverse, And this is very exciting. There are many different blockchains with different design choices and different strengths and weaknesses. It also comes with downsides. Users are often split between ecosystems. Everything within a single ecosystem is easy to use, but for a different ecosystem, you may need a new wallet or get used to a different workflow. Also, assets typically live on a single blockchain, which leads to fragmentation of assets and liquidity. Wouldn't it be great if we could use the best pieces of every blockchain? The Internet Computer Protocol offers technology that we call chain fusion, which enables Canister smart contracts on ICP to securely interact with other blockchains. Canisters on ICP can create signatures, for example, to sign transactions on other blockchains. This is decentralized by the use of threshold cryptography. The canister has its own public key, but the secret key never exists in one place. Instead, the replicas that power the subnet run a cryptographic protocol to create signatures upon the canister's request. Canister smart contracts on ICP can bidirectionally interact with other blockchains. For Bitcoin, there is a native integration, meaning ICP nodes are also able to talk to the Bitcoin network, and a single smart contract on ICP maintains a full copy of the Bitcoin network state. For other chains, this integration is powered by the fact that smart contracts on ICP can make decentralized HTTP calls. Together, this essentially gives ICP smart contracts the power to act as a user of other blockchains, creating, signing, and submitting transactions or smart contract calls.
Chain fusion, it's big. You know what else is big? Bitcoin Las Vegas, the world's largest Bitcoin conference, and we're going to be there.
This is going to be the third year that I've been at the Bitcoin conference. Miami and Nashville were great.
Yeah, and Vegas, baby.
Vegas, everyone comes together in Vegas. This is going to be an exciting year for the conference, so I'm looking forward to it. If you're building with CKBTC, you need to be going to Bitcoin Las Vegas. It's very important for being able to network with all these new projects coming out. From Bitcoin Nashville, there was like 30,000 people in attendance, and it was absolutely electric. You should be building relationships with these projects and community members there, learning how you can work with the Bitcoin ecosystem to bring into the internet computer ecosystem.
And if you want to save 10%, make sure you're using discount code THESWOP at checkout. And Kyle, rumor has it that we may be co-sponsoring an event.
You're going to want to bring your swimsuits.
Yeah, lots of big news in the AI world since last week when we were chatting. I see Google's got a bunch of big announcements.
ICP Panda mentioned something about Google.
Yeah, they had a whole X thread about that and brought up some really good comments.
ICP Panda is like your friendly neighborhood panda, chiming in on socials.
I mean, I see them commenting on our stuff. Is that an AI agent?
Yeah,
account?
Yeah, it's an agent. They've been around for a bit now, and they were initially out like with the craze around DeepSeek.
Yeah, ICP Panda has been building their A2A framework for 5 months now, and it kind of just begs the question. Obviously, AI is going to be a huge deal. Like, everybody knows this at this point. Do you want that in the hands of 15 mega companies, or do you want to try to build that together in more of a decentralized way? And I think that's really the question that we're all going to have to answer, and society's going to have to answer, but it's going to get answered one way or the other. Google launched Firebase. That's a thing where essentially you could just ask AI to build things for you, and it will use the Google stack essentially as much as it can. I mean, Google doesn't offer every part of the tech stack, but you can basically have it build apps for you with the Google framework. Dominic Williams was commenting on there's a bunch of really good interactions that he had with the community. Of course, many questions about how Caffeine AI versus Google Firebase. And there's a lot of questions. A lot of people are very interested in what's Caffeine AI going to do. Dominic Williams was kind of going, I thought, answered a lot of really great questions. Yeah, one of the big points he's making is that AI does make mistakes. So it's like, if it has unlimited options, it's going to make more mistakes. And like the Google stack is less structured, whereas like the ICP AI stack is going to be a little bit more focused on what the AI needs, and ultimately it's going to make making less mistakes, and that's going to be probably pretty important, as we look at the power of AI. Like, what kind of mistakes is it going to make? And that's kind of the questions that he was dealing with, and I thought he did a really good job with that.
I saw our friend Javier from ICP Hub Canada on the Edge's show recently. He was talking about Canada Crypto Week and Consensus coming up.
And apparently he's going to be at Consensus. So yeah, for anybody who wants to meet up there with him. He also got a chance, I thought was cool, to plug a little ICP in there and just had a real nice conversation. Yeah, he did a great job.
So more news around the world with ICP this week. Piggycell, which is a project from Korea, recently raised $10 million, which is very exciting to see for a project in the ecosystem.
I mean, yeah, a lot of good participation from hubs around the world, as well as Animoca Brands, I think, was jumping into that. So yeah, and I think they're doing cell phone charging. So decentralized physical infrastructure, which is a whole subset of Web3. It's fascinating. I definitely recommend people check it out because it's intriguing and maybe some inspiration for people building all over the world. You and I both know the terror of being like middle of the night and hitting that 5% on the phone. Like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
I guess you go to Piggycell.
Yeah, I'm curious to see more.
I'm looking forward to seeing more, but definitely very exciting for the ecosystem.
Thank you all for watching. Please continue to like, share, and comment.
And we'll see you next week.